Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Daryl Cooch Smith, with my cohort, Mr. Chris Picard.
I'm here.
Once again, this is at episode 98.
98.
98 of our beloved film Banter that our noses are all burned out and rubbed in because our noses to the grindstone. We never let up. We just
work hard
keep doing
for
it.
you.
Even though we've grown to hate each other over the past...
That's not true.
No, it's not true.
No, it's not true.
But you know, we've gone a long way. We've come a long way, damn it.
really
And
have.
we want to do another 100 episodes, even though no one watches us, but nobody gives a goddamn whether we breathe or live or die.
There are some people out there that
No,
do.
there are some people that do.
We have some
enjoy
disciples.
it. But anyway, let's get to the screen. And,
Happy Thanksgiving,
we'd like to wish all of
everybody.
you a very happy Thanksgiving.
We hope you have
That's
a wonderful
right. We
time
hope
with your
that you-
families.
We hope you are there giving thanks to the lovely people who adore you, and that
Exactly.
you can all just sit about and eat cranberry sauce. And do you eat the real cranberries or do you have the jelly
No,
one?
it has to be the can that looks like the can. Not the chunky. It has to come out looking like the can.
Oh, you like that? That's the gel.
That's what I like.
That's the gel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want the real
I
stuff.
like the real berries.
No, I hate that.
Oh, I like it.
I like
it's a
the
gooey mess.
I like the other stuff.
Oh, you like the gel.
I like the
Looks
gel.
like the
it looks
can.
like the can.
I know it does.
If it doesn't look like the can,
I know.
I don't want it.
I gotcha.
Let's refrain from politics this year. I know it's very hard for people
is
to not
difficult.
talk about it
You know,
at the holiday table.
I must be honest. I'm slowing down on my persecution of this man.
It's getting tiring to
It's so
persecute.
exhausting.
It's terrible.
It's draining. Every day
I don't
of
wanna
my
do it.
life, I wake up. I hate him.
We're not gonna
I
discuss
hate
it
him,
on
but,
holidays
you know,
this year.
there's only so much. There's only so much angst
I know.
that you can give to
know.
all of
I
that,
know.
and it's very angst creating.
Why should we give that man our holiday? Let's enjoy it. Leave him out the door.
We've given him our life.
I know.
For the
and it
last
sucks.
2 years.
It sucks.
3 years.
Don't take up that mental energy. It's
I
so
know.
annoying. So anyway, we're going to move on from that. We're going to talk about cinema. We have some great movies tonight.
We do indeed.
We're going to be talking to you about Fantastic Beasts, the sequel, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That's the big movie this week. We're going to be
suppose.
covering Widows, the action crime film
The
directed
Steve McQueen.
the Steve McQueen action film.
who has come back from the dead.
Yeah,
To,
it's not really an action movie. It's a
kind of
crime
his
drama.
great escape was coming back from the dead.
Exactly.
And,
And
he has
coming
come
back as
and
an
now
African-American
he's an
man from Britain.
African-American man from England
Yeah.
who is now creating some really great films.
He is, I agree.
12 Years a Slave.
Exactly.
What was his last film?
He did Hunger before that, and then this is his
Hunger's
first
a
film.
long time ago.
This is his first film since 12 Years a Slave.
Are you sure?
In between those two films, he did Shame.
Oh, okay.
This is his first film
I love
without
Shame.
Michael Fassbender.
I love Shame.
Yeah. I love it. It's a good
wonder,
film.
You know, where is Michael Fassbender lately?
He's taking a break. He's
I
very
guess
busy
him.
for a while.
I think he's...
He's busy with Alicia Vikander.
I can't say I blame
creating
the
the
man.
next
next
Vikander
Michael
Fassbender
I know.
offspring.
Well, you know, God bless him,
Yeah,
man.
and then after that, we're going to be doing Overlord. Well, I'm going to be doing Overlord because Daryl didn't see it.
I didn't.
And then a bunch of films that are available for you to watch at home.
There you go.
But let's go
All right, let's start
now
again
to the
from the
first film of the night. We are going to be doing Fantastic Beasts sequel, The Crimes of Grindelwald,
Yeah.
starring Johnny Depp as Grindelwald himself.
Do you have it on a
Eddie-
motivational mode?
Yes, it's going to play.
All right,
We
very
have
good.
Eddie Redmayne reprising his character of Newt.
Yes. Well, we have 3 people who have reprised their
Catherine
character.
Waterston is back as well.
She's back.
And then we have joining the cast this year on this
Jude
film,
Law.
Jude Law as the young Dumbledore.
You know, I always liked Jude. He
Me too.
really
He's
commands
great.
himself
Here he
so
is.
well.
I liked his performance as Dumbledore.
I did too. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I loved him in Spy. I thought he.
Oh, yeah,
always played
Spy
a
with
great
Melissa McCarthy.
James Bond kind of guy. No, who is this guy?
This is Ezra Miller.
Where do we know him from?
He's the Flash in the new Justice League.
Oh,
in the movie.
the new Flash.
Yeah, not the TV show.
That,
He's
no,
the movie
I
Flash.
understand.
Yeah.
I know the TV
Yeah.
show. I watch it every week.
And if you
But,
want to see an amazing film with him, you have to see Tilda Swinton's The Truth About Kevin. Tilda Swinton plays his mother in the whole
Okay.
film.
And
he
he's
basically,
Kevin?
yeah, he basically is a son
Right.
who wants to basically kill his mother.
Gotcha.
It's a harrowing, dark movie.
You know, I did not see the
it's
film.
tough. I love this creature, by the way.
Or maybe I did
That was
see
a cool
film.
design.
It was a
John
cool
C.
design.
Reilly played her husband in that film.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, then I didn't see it. I purposely stayed away from that
You
film.
should see it. It's a dark one, though.
Yeah, I did. I stayed away from it. I
Yeah.
did not wish to see it. But, well, let's talk about this movie.
There's a lot of Fantastic Beasts in this movie.
You know, I must say that, you know, maybe I just wasn't up for the first one. I remember feeling the first one was overwhelming with
there's a lot going on.
A lot of movement, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, a lot of this and that. I do like Eddie Redmayne. He's rather
good.
simplistic.
I liked her.
Love this girl.
She's very good.
She just plays Marilyn Monroe. is all she's doing. She has
Yeah,
the
her
whisper.
name is Alison Sudol.
I'm familiar
She's
with
very
her.
good.
She is lovely, and she is perfect.
You know, she almost reminds me of a young Rachel Weisz as well.
Really?
There's a resemblance there to me.
A little bit.
You know what? I like
got
Johnny.
that.
I like Johnny.
I thought
in
he
this.
was great.
He
in
was
this
cool.
film. No, I
Yeah.
thought he was great. I liked the whole opening.
was
Did
cool.
you see the film in 3D or not?
No, I didn't.
I did see
I
it in
didn't want
3D, and it was very.
This was a good scene.
It was very wonderful.
Yeah.
For the,
Oh yeah, I could
3D.
see that it lend itself to
Yeah,
it.
I was kind of against it. Timing. I liked the mini Groot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Character
Pretty much
here.
Grootish.
It is a kind of a Grootish,
Yeah.
a green Groot, if
Yeah.
you will. I like this film far more than I liked the first one.
I think
have
I
to
did
say.
too.
Yeah.
There was a really good sense of fun in this one. There was,
There was.
some more spectacular moments, I thought. And I just loved the Dumbledore character so much in
Yeah.
this film. He really drew me in.
Yeah. You know, all I could really think, though, looking at this guy, is how much he looks like Jacob Dylan, who is Bob
From
Dylan's
the Wallflowers?
son. From the Wallflowers.
Yeah, a little bit.
Uh,
And this, we were introduced to his brother in this
right,
film.
who looks like
His
him.
name is, the actor was good, Caleb Turner.
I even like the little kid who plays him.
He looked like him, the same hair.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But the star of this film, the star-making role of this film was who?
For you?
No, for the world.
For the world in this
For
film?
the world.
Zoe Kravitz?
You got it.
I agree. She was excellent.
Zoe Kravitz.
She was great.
On screen. Here she is back here.
I think I have a photo of her coming
I'll
up.
tell you something.
She was great.
Well, you just saw her in that
Okay.
scene
And
previous.
This is her brother would meet in this
Right.
film.
He was very good also. But Zoe Kravitz, the camera loves this,
in this
woman
film, yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Her face is sculpted.
Here she is.
gold.
Beautiful.
Look at her.
She's gorgeous.
She is
And
drop
she's a good
dead.
little actress.
She was dynamite.
She's on the cover, very
Rolling Stone.
provocatively in
I have
Rolling
that
Stone.
issue right
Yeah,
in
I
there,
just
as
got
a
it.
matter
Yeah.
of fact.
Yeah.
I love this girl. She was kind of a non-character.
Yeah, we didn't get
almost.
much about. We didn't know
we
much
really
about
didn't.
her.
Yeah, they were kind of a couple.
But she was good.
And so forth. She was good. I like when she.
This guy
turns
was
into
kind
a
of creepy.
snake.
He was like an immortal.
Yeah,
And Dan
right.
Fogler's always good.
I liked him once
Yeah.
again. He's kind of the foil. He's almost like the
He's-
Jack Black.
I was
if
with
you
a
will.
Josh Gad kind of a little bit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Josh Gad, or even
was a cool creature, too.
Seth. What's his name?
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen. Not Seth Rogen. The other guy.
Oh, Jonah Hill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically any overweight actor who's what we're saying, right?
Yeah, basically any overweight actor
Sidekick.
who was kind of a jolly guy.
Exactly.
But Johnny was. I thought he
good.
was commanding. I thought he was good. I liked his more mature aspect of just his acting in general.
I like the history they went to explain
Yeah.
a little bit between his character and Dumbledore's history.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I adore this woman.
She's beautiful.
I would just. I would give up my life just for
an evening?
No, not for an evening.
No,
It'd have to be at least a month.
Good.
I like the film. I really
enjoyed
did
it.
like it. I mean, it is contrived. There's a lot of nonsense that goes on here that characters are kind of brought in and kind of
Mm-hmm.
leave just as quickly that I really didn't know. I mean, it almost like you had to read the book to really get every little nuance
Yeah.
of who
And there wasn't a book.
everyone
That's the
was.
crazy thing.
There wasn't?
These new ones, the Fantastic Beasts, they're just original screenplays written by J.K. Rowling
Right.
that take place before the Harry Potter films.
I see.
So there's no source
Well,
material.
yeah, because here's Dumbledore,
Yeah,
of
exactly,
course, as a young
yes.
man and so forth. But
I felt that this film could have been trimmed. They could have cut out that
Absolutely.
15, 20 minutes easy. Because this is a 2-hour, 15-minute film.
it's a 2 hour and 10 minute
Whatever
film.
it is. They could have trimmed that easily,
You know,
I thought.
I agree with you to some extent, but I wasn't unhappy with the
I
film
wasn't
that we
either,
got.
but it still
Where
could have
our
been
next
shorter.
film, I thought a solid.
I agree.
I felt I could have.
The first hour took forever, I
Oh
thought.
my God.
We'll discuss that in
You
a few
know, we
minutes.
will discuss that in a few minutes. But this is a beautiful looking film. Almost
Gorgeous.
every single scene
Yeah.
has a special effect
does.
going on in it. It's visually entertaining. I wasn't spiritually moved. I didn't
No.
feel any great sadness. I was very disgusted by the fact that this is not an end second. There's going to be 5.
We're
of them.
getting 5.
Oh, fuck.
At least that's what's on IMDb. You know,
I'm not
when there's
surprised.
$1 to be made,
Exactly.
you know.
But
this
I
was
thought
direct.
that was disappointing. And you know something?
know.
The franchise is not doing well.
Not as
far
well as Harry Potter, no.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
nothing does as well
I
as Harry
think
Potter.
my wife had a good observation. It makes sense that these films are more adult oriented than the Harry Potters are more
I
aimed
agree.
towards kids.
I agree.
This is for a higher Not too much higher, but it's definitely elevated to a little bit more.
No, there is an elevated sense of...
There's a little darker.
Sophistication that you have to realize. In fact, you said you brought your young son, Max, to this.
He went to this. He's obsessed with the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he understood this completely.
He did, and what he was loving was all the little Easter eggs.
Oh, good for him.
And references to the Harry Potter world.
Oh, wonderful.
Every time there was a moment, he'd look over to his mother. Hey, Mom, look.
God bless you, man.
He was very on board with all that stuff.
Excellent. Because I found it confusing.
For me, I only saw all the Harry Potter films once.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I wouldn't catch these references.
I only saw them once also.
Yeah.
But regards to the Harry Potter stuff, I mean, just this film for what it was, there were some kind of cool things. I remember there was a great dinner in the last one where our redhead is making that great dinner.
In the apartment, right?
Yeah.
That was a fun scene.
Whips together.
Yeah.
But this was a great little film. I enjoyed it.
It's a big screen movie. You got to go see it in the theater.
Absolutely entertaining, and I felt fulfilled
me
when
too.
I walked out of the theater. I was just disappointed that we didn't have a final sense, but now you're telling me there's 5.
Yeah, well, according to IMDb, there's 5, and this and the last one and the last 3. Well, I guess you can say 4 Harry Potter films because the last one was split into 2.
Right.
All directed, including these, by David Yates, and he's kind of got it down to a science.
He certainly does.
Will he continue with all the rest? That's to be seen.
That is to be.
But you know what? It was a good follow-up. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
And I would recommend checking it out. You can take your kids.
I love Eddie Redmayne.
Redmayne's very good.
Look at this girl, though.
I know.
God, she's just. I mean, she's like a sculpted. She looks like the girl from The Mummy a little bit. The girl who was also in Atomic Blonde.
Sophia Boutella.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
A little bit. Well, it's the dark essence of her, I suppose.
I guess. But Zoe's very. There's an exoticness to her appearance.
I remember the first time I saw her was that movie. It was her and him. It was 2 characters.
You talked about Vincent and Roxy?
There you go.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I like that film.
Yeah, I mean, before that, she was, I feel like, underutilized.
Yeah.
She was in the first of the first class X-Men. That first one, X-Men First Class.
Correct.
She was in that.
Hardly at all.
She had a throwaway character with butterfly wings.
Then she went on to be in Rough Night with
she did that.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, and then that was after Vincent and Roxy
Scarlett,
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
so this, I think, is her real jump into major performances.
Mainstream.
Hopefully, she'll start getting lead roles soon.
As I said, lead
well,
roles.
Vincent and Roxy, she was a lead, co-lead.
No, but that was a small, tiny little film.
Yeah, I'm talking about big.
The camera was on her a lot.
I know.
And it featured
she had a major role. Yeah.
At a major role, she is absolutely stunningly drop dead beautiful.
Yeah, there she is in the corner.
And there she is back over there, walking around in this lovely purple dress. Purple dress, purple. Sung to the tune of Purple Rain, by the way. But she's and I like this girl too.
Catherine Waterston's great. She's in everything lately. She's in a lot
of stuff.
Alien Covenant. She was just in mid-90s.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah.
She's in quite a few films too.
She is quite a bit. All right.
So we're gonna move on.
We both like this film.
We both enjoyed it. We recommend it.
I wasn't drop dead. It's not a 4-star movie for me.
But it's a solid 3.
3.5.
I would go that far.
Just in the realm of fantasy films. You don't get anything as a human being when you leave this theater. The only thing a film like this really does is kind of maybe spark your imagination.
Yeah, it does.
Gets you into the fantasy mode a little bit, but you take nothing from this film.
No, there's no lesson to be learned. There's no moral compass that you're going to realign after seeing this film.
And I must say this, that the older I get, the more I feel that these films are just bubblegum for the brain, as I've used that term before.
You have.
And they are. It's basically just a time waster.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would have gone to see this film had we not insisted, had you not put a gun to my head, had you not put a knife to my throat.
Well, we have to review Fantastic Beasts.
Well, I don't know if we had to.
Well, we should.
Well, we should, and we did, so it's done.
Yeah.
And now here's another film that I
WIDOWS.
kind of wish I hadn't seen. I must be
Why don't you
honest.
quick describe the premise while I get our clock, because we forgot our clock.
Okay, our clock is sitting right over there.
I like to know what's going on with the time.
I know you do.
It's very important.
Well, very well. Although if you had just told me what time we started. We only started, 15 minutes ago?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think about 5
I forgot
or
to
8.
put the clock on the check, so.
Well, you can look at the time, how much
I
time
didn't
has
see the
gone
time
by.
code. I don't think it's on there.
Okay, well, anyway, we have Viola Davis here. We have a group of men who are Liam Neeson.
He's the head of a crime group.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the opening of this film because Steve McQueen, he did reference it in an interview about how seeing a white man with a black woman have a very intimate
right in the opening of the film, yeah.
It's just some tongue kissing that we have between the two of them.
Yeah, there's some pretty graphic tongue kissing.
Well, it was some tongue kissing. We don't see tongue kissing in a lot of films anymore. You know,
No.
we have the open mouth thing where people open mouth kiss, but you don't see the tongue.
Yeah.
Here specifically, we saw the tongue. We
Yeah.
do see the love
Between the two of them.
Yeah, you know, I predicted.
See, I don't want to say anything.
Okay,
I didn't.
Well, characters die at the beginning. There's a heist that goes wrong with.
Well, we learned that in the trailer that all the guys die in a heist.
Liam Neeson and his group of 4 guys.
Exactly.
They all die in this massive explosion.
Yeah.
They
were just robbing.
They're professional
thieves. Yeah.
Professional heisters. Is my I do believe me hair's coming off here. I don't want that to happen.
No, we don't.
But you know, I gotta say, he was dynamite.
He was vicious.
He was.
He was
brutal.
a menacing.
That scene
son
with
of a
that
bitch.
that poor guy at the bowling alley. That we have a man in a wheelchair. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Duvall has come out, 87 years old. Come on.
He plays a nice
There
curmudgeon.
he is.
Yeah.
There we go. Here we have Michelle Rodriguez over here. Who is this girl?
Elizabeth Debicki.
She has a not a Game of Thrones, but she does have a feel of like a Downton Abbey or something. Where is she from?
Well, what I know her from is she was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. She played like that golden woman that was the head of that one race.
Oh, yeah.
She's very good.
That was her.
You know, she's 6'2". She's a tall woman.
Really?
Very tall.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's
very pale.
Stunningly,
but stunning.
yeah. No, this is a well-acted film. It's 2 hours and
it's a little long.
It's 2 hours,
especially
and
the first
10
hour.
minutes long. Oh my God! You know, I gotta say.
But we didn't finish the premise. But basically, it's just now the women, the widows of these guys that died, are tasked to basically repay the debt that was stolen from this crime lord.
The money that they stole was taken. Yeah. It wasn't a crime lord. He was actually a guy running for.
No, but he's a criminal. He's a criminal who's now running for alderman of Chicago.
Correct.
Yeah, and they stole $2 million from him.
Correct.
And so he wants it back. So
played
he gives
by a black actor.
He's good.
Who's very good.
His name is Brian Tyree Henry.
But anyway, since all the men now are dead. He comes back to because her husband, played by Liam, is the head of the gang.
Yeah.
He now comes to her and says, "Listen, your husband stole money from me." I don't know how they knew that. I guess it was because of the explosion in the garage, and that's where the money was and burned up in this thing, whatever. But so we thought. Anyway, I don't want to. No spoilers there, but. This is really Viola Davis's film.
It is
all
her
the
film.
way. I mean, she really kind of. It was kind of cool to see her in this little garb get-up as they now procure to do their own heist because Liam has left a notebook, which becomes very, very valuable.
Yes,
it's kind of the MacGuffin, if you will,
pretty much
in the film. That was Viola right there in the black mask thing as their. So anyway, Liam kind of gives her clues, which doesn't make sense. Now that I've seen the entire film, it doesn't make sense that he would give her clues to go and do this heist on her own. I mean, it's kind of what he was leading up to, but why did he leave that book behind? I mean, of course it makes sense to
he left it in a safe deposit box, and he left her a note.
But he left her a note
with this driver that said, if anything happens to me, go here.
Right.
He intended her, I believe, to sell it. Not to do the job.
Right, well, that's what he did. To Jamal, yes.
To Jamal. That was supposed to be because this notebook has all past, present, and future job plans.
Right.
So it's like gold to anybody who wants to do these kind of things.
So it also has building, architectural designs,
everything, all designs. So
it's a complex little film.
And there's a lot of tasks they have to do to start planning this caper.
Right.
And I would say, besides Viola Davis, I think that the main driving narrative for the women is Elizabeth Debicki, who is the blonde.
Yeah.
And she has to...
I don't think so. Her?
Yeah, she has a big part, but I think she has more to do with
She's not the driving force, though.
No, she said one of the other driving forces other than Viola Davis.
Well, okay.
Michelle Rodriguez doesn't have too much to do.
No, I agree there.
And then we have Colin Farrell's character.
Colin Farrell, he's
the only real main...
He's running against him. He's the bad guy.
They're the two main male guys.
Has been stolen from. Yeah.
And, Colin Farrell plays the guy who's running against him, who is, for lack of a better term, the incumbent.
Well, here's his father.
He's taking over for his father, who's gone ill.
What is their name? Malley or
no? It's
Mick something, isn't it?
Mulligan, something like that.
It is Mulligan.
Mulligan, or something like that.
So the Mulligans are running against this new black man as alderman of this community, etc.
I forgot to look it up. What the hell is an alderman? What do they do? Is that
you
just
know,
for cities? We don't have one in my town.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah,
It might just be
like a councilman? Maybe that's the name
could
for a
be.
city, a councilman?
Very possible.
I'll look
I'm
it up
not sure
later.
what an alderman is either.
Yeah.
But anyway,
term.
yeah, Cullen was great in this
I
film.
thought he was good.
You know, I haven't seen him give a bad performance.
He's having a renaissance now. He's doing great.
You know, I hated The Lobster that he was
See, I
in.
enjoyed that film.
Oh, I hated that film.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Rachel
that.
Weisz
I know
was
you
in
didn't like it. I liked it.
I thought Michelle was great
She
in
was
this
good,
movie.
yeah.
Everybody is very good. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the length of this film.
It's
and
long.
and the dreary slowness of this movie.
The first hour
is
especially.
so enough to put you off. I sat there just thinking to myself, now this is one of the most brutal
That's
scenes
the
I've
scene
ever
with the guy in a
seen.
wheelchair.
And he's just got this spike. He's
Yeah.
got this knife
I think
and he
it's
just goes up and he just, hey, does that hurt? Pow!
It's either
And
an
he hits
ice
him.
pick or a letter opener.
It looks like an ice pick.
Oof.
It looks like an ice
Just
pick.
poking him.
And he's just poking him here, but hard and deep.
Yeah.
And brutal.
Yeah.
It's a
To get
grim
information.
scene. I mean,
Yeah.
at times I literally covered my
And he
eyes.
just
I
stares.
just didn't
How about
wanna-
when he's staring at those guys in the basketball court?
Oh, yeah.
And they're just thugs that
Well,
he
that's
knows.
hilarious.
Yeah, and he's
I
just like
cracked
this.
up.
Yeah.
I cracked up.
He's good.
You know.
There's
and
the scene in the opening we were talking
Right.
about.
And the two guys are singing.
Yeah.
He's in this basketball court. The two guys are singing.
Let's
Just takes. I'm just going to tell you. He takes out a gun and bop, bop.
Yeah.
I cracked up. I laughed my ass
did.
off. The whole theater. And there was a lot of people in the theater.
Yeah.
You know, Tuesday's old folks'
It
day.
is, yeah.
You know, you're tripping over the bedpans as
Exactly.
you walk through the theater. But I enjoyed that. I thought
Yeah.
it was a kick. That's kind of a throwaway scene. It has nothing to do with
real
the
quick,
plot.
speaking of the audience, so when I saw this yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
And I'd say altogether in the theater, maybe there were 15, 20 of us. Not a
Okay.
huge showing.
All right.
But
I'm going to say about 30 people today.
directly next to me was a family, two adults, and their two young kids.
Oh, God.
For a 1:50 p.m. show on a Monday, why weren't they in school? That's my question.
Well, it is a holiday week.
Yeah, but usually the kids don't get Monday of that week off.
Who knows? They
so-
could have been visiting from out of
Could
town.
be.
You
There
don't
was
know.
a boy and a girl. I would say the boy was probably maybe 10. The daughter roughly within that
Yeah,
age
this is
range.
not a film for-
It's not a kids movie. Not only is it violence, language, there is a fairly elaborate sex scene between two characters where there's nudity. It was funny.
Minimal.
But there was
But there
nudity
is
for
nudity.
several moments.
Our Polish-
lovely Elizabeth Debicki.
She is nude for a
But
moment or two.
there was an audible awkwardness next to me with the family. As soon as that happened, everybody was squirming. The sun was turning. The father was covering his eyes.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of amused by it.
Well, they must have been
But you shouldn't
Quakers
have
or
brought them.
something.
Well, you don't want to bring your
Maybe they
12-year-old
were
kid to a movie with
pioneers
nudity.
or
You
something.
know?
Who knows?
But nevertheless, I really enjoyed
love
this
this girl.
film. She was good.
I love this girl.
We just saw her a couple weeks ago in the El Rey Hotel, El Royale. She was the singer.
No.
That's her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't even look
That's
like
her. Well, she had a big wig on in that
She
film.
had a big wig on.
She's
and,
in muscular shape in this movie.
She is amazing.
She's
in this.
excellent.
She was dynamite.
Well, she's a...
I loved him in this. You
Daniel
know,
Cuyala,
I haven't-
he's very good.
You know, he was just in Black Panther. I didn't like him in Black Panther. I didn't think his
He's all right
character
now.
was well realized. It was okay.
Great in Get Out,
I'm not a
Oscar-nominated
big-
performance.
I know. But Get Out was great.
That was great.
He was so good in that. And as I was sitting watching him today, I said, you know, I've already seen Get Out twice now. I could watch it again.
I'd see it again. I only
love
saw
that
it once.
film. I liked it
Yeah.
much better the second time, believe it or not. And you realize the comic elements. Remember, he has the friend, the kind of a chubby friend.
Yeah.
Back at the,
Oh,
who works at the.
he's a TSA.
He was the
Yeah,
TSA.
that was
right.
funny. That was good.
He's the ambulance guy.
Oh,
and,
this guy was good too. As her driver, I
Oh,
liked him.
Bash.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of
Bash.
stuff.
He was great.
Yeah, his name is. I have it
he
here.
was great.
Where is
yeah.
it? But anyway, overall, I was going to say I liked the film.
I did like
It
it
was
too.
long, but I still enjoyed it.
It did. I must say, it all came together
It was
at the end. At the end,
It
we
did.
just it really makes it all worth it.
It does.
There's a robbery that goes on. There's and it, you know, as always, very much like Ocean's 8, you're always baffled by the amount of preparation that they actually
I know.
do, and they have so much preparation. They plan for all kinds of things to go wrong in this,
Exactly.
which I found very unbelievable, personally. I mean, for people doing their first robbery, so forth, they look like total pros.
Well, that could all be in the playbook that they're following. That could have been. He left elaborate plans.
You can give elaborate plans and so forth, but you know, there's a stunning of a guard they have to do. They have to hog tie him.
I think that would be common sense,
Oh,
though.
it would be, but they did it like the military. I mean, it was done a little too
Yeah, but there were
slick
some
for
mistakes, you know.
not too many. Not too many. But we don't want to go into
We don't
all
want to
that.
get into that.
That's
territory.
that's spoiler alert stuff.
I agree.
But regardless, it's Viola's film. It's
her film.
You know, it was a different kind of movie than Steve McQueen normally makes.
Totally different than
It
anything
was
he's done.
not. It was not as intense. I like his films because
Yeah.
they are intense.
I agree.
I love Shame.
It's a good.
Every moment on screen, especially Hunger, for
I
God's
know.
sakes.
He's got a long camera take in Hunger where
I know.
him
Those
and the
two
priest
guys
are
are just
talking.
talking.
Beautiful.
Great scene. I agree.
But 12 Years is definitely still my favorite film that he's
I
done.
do enjoy that
Or-
film.
Not gorgeous, but it's an amazing movie.
Well, everybody's so good. You know,
I
it's
know.
just an eclectic
Tense
group.
movie.
Brad Pitt and Michael and
Yeah, I almost forgot
and
about Brad Pitt, yeah.
Beautiful. The little black girl.
Who won the Oscar?
She won the
She was
Oscar.
also in Black Panther.
What the hell is her name?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o. Yeah,
Nyong'o.
dynamite.
She's excellent.
Love her. Just a beautiful woman.
But this film, though, you could wait till video.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not a film. I was a little disheartened that I did have to go see this in the theater, and I did go see it just for you because
Well,
you
it's a big movie,
insisted.
you know.
I don't think it's that big of a movie. Believe
Big
it or
release,
not.
though, big cast, you know.
It's a big cast and it's a.
I think we'd be
religious
remiss to ignore it, though, in the
Well,
show.
I think we could have almost waited for it, and is it a 3-star film? Yes, it's
Yeah.
a 3-star film, but boy, the length of.
You know,
just
this was his
killed it.
passion project?
Yeah, right. He said that,
For a long
you know,
time, he wanted to do this film.
Well, he said at the opening. There's an
Oh, yeah, that's
opening-
right. There's a little thing that comes on.
Yeah,
Hi,
he
thanks for
says,
coming to the
"Thanks for
theater.
coming to the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for enjoy. I hope you enjoy Widows, etc."
It's my passion
This has
project.
been something I've been thinking about since I was a young
Yeah,
boy.
because this is based, we have to say, this is
Right.
based on an early 1980s BBC limited series.
Oh, really?
Widows, 1980, I have it here. Widows, 1983 was a British series. I think it was, BBC shows with 3 to 4 episodes.
Did he have something to do with it?
No, he was probably a teenager when that
Oh,
came
okay.
out. But he watched it on TV as a kid and loved
Well,
it.
he was talking about it as a young boy.
As a young boy watching it.
No, that these were elements that happened to him as a young boy that brought this film to fruition. That something happened to him. That's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. I thought just he
Yeah.
loved the miniseries. Because I know
Oh,
he talks about that.
He said as a young boy,
Oh, okay.
specifically, and he certainly was older than a young boy. He's got to be 40 at least. And
Yeah, I'm 40 and I was
Yeah.
a little boy in the early 80s.
okay.
He's
but-
probably, I would say he's got at least 7, 8 years on me.
Yeah, but that's
so
not
let's
the
say
point.
he was
He
12,
talked
13.
specifically about being a little boy, and things happened in his life that made him always kind of that as he thought back of those experiences, he
Yeah.
wanted to make this film
Okay.
because of that.
Yeah, well,
I like this little redhead too.
Yeah,
I
she
thought
was
she was
good.
very good.
Yeah.
She has a
She
great
was good.
scene in the back of a limo. We don't actually see
That
her.
was an
It's a
interesting
bizarre
scene.
scene.
Yeah. So real quick, then we're going to move on. The scene ends.
know.
That she plays Colin Farrell's assistant in this
Right.
film.
You almost
And
think
so-
she's his wife or something.
Yeah, but she's just his assistant.
But she's an assistant.
He's his aide, whatever. So they get into a limo, but the camera stays on the hood of the limousine. They get into the
just
back.
reflections.
It's just reflections.
You just
So-
see the trees
Yeah.
on the front of the limo as the
as they're
car
talk-
is
but we hear the
moving.
audio of them talking.
We do.
So we go with them on the entire drive to a house, and it's an
Not
uninterrupted
that
camera
long a drive.
take.
Well, okay.
But it's like several blocks, and the camera all it does is
2 minutes
eventually
long. It's about 2
it
minutes.
goes to the other side of the car.
Yeah.
So then when the car parks, we see him get out of the car and go
Right.
into the house.
And then she follows
It's
him
one
in.
take.
Right.
Very interesting. At first, I'm like, "What is this shot?" Then you
I
get the
know.
payoff. Interesting.
Yeah, and
I
what
love
was the
long
payoff?
takes. Well, just that. Okay, we're seeing him get out. We're not only seeing the entire ride without cutting. So the actor is being taken to the location. There's no cutting, but we see him then get out of the car uninterrupted. It's not the greatest single camera take I've ever
I
seen.
would have much preferred to have the camera on him and her
Well,
while
I
she's
agree.
giving her big speech.
I agree, but I'm saying is
I would have rather seen that. But
No, I
think it was a
agree.
poor choice.
Well, no, I'm
and
just saying
it made no sense to
that
me. But
it made sense to me once I saw. Okay, we're going to see them get out.
it was interesting.
It was an experiment. I've
Only
never seen
because
that before.
only because of the abstractness of it.
Yeah.
Was it interesting? But it wasn't really.
No, I don't
interesting
think it
at
was the
all.
most beneficial way to move that dialogue forward.
Absolutely not.
It would have been great to
No,
see the conversation.
I would have much rather see her.
It was
give
an
her big
experiment in
speech.
one take,
Absolutely.
Because doing one takes now has become a popular thing to do.
So do a one take while they're sitting in the back seat and just film them talking.
Well, we've seen that though. How many times have we seen that?
I don't care. This was an integral.
We're
part
going to
of the
be talking
film.
about a movie a little later, Destination Wedding, that most of the movie is one master shot
I know.
over and over and over again.
True.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
We're gonna
Enjoyed the
quickly.
film. Great
recommend
acting.
it. You can see it on video.
Yeah, way too long. 2 hours and
They
10
could have
minutes.
cut 20 minutes easy.
20 minutes. I could have cut 45 minutes out of this. I
don't know about 45.
No, I could have cut a lot out of this. There was a lot of nonsense and talks and the minister thing. Well, I would throw that whole thing out.
Well, that was just about that was just politics,
fodder.
trying to get.
It wasn't even worth anything.
I know. You didn't need that scene. I agree.
That whole scene, that whole character was worthless.
That was just exposition.
Even the scene with where he's spiking the poor guy in the wheelchair. That was horrifying. But did we need the extended version of that? Did we need the full 5-minute version where he's torturing this poor guy? I thought, and then when we actually kill the driver, and I'm giving a little spoiler. But when there's an assault going on in the driver's apartment, we don't see that.
I know.
And that's when we should have seen that.
Yeah.
And we could have left out. We could have seen the evil that he's capable of.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's probably more evil to take advantage of somebody who's in a wheelchair.
No, I understand that.
You know?
But he could have accomplished the same thing by doing all that to the guy, to the driver.
I guess so.
As opposed to having two scenes, and all it's showing us is that he's an evil guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
We know he's an evil guy because he shot the two guys in the gym. So we know he's a psycho.
Yeah.
But I think it was just a little bit of maybe a sadistic, maybe it was just Steve McQueen thinking, well, the guy from Get Out, who's so good, maybe he just wanted to give him more airtime.
I will say that wheelchair scene is one of the ones that stand out to me. It's one of my favorite scenes in the film.
It is a brutal film. It's a brutal scene, that is.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, let us move.
I'm going to do Overlord fairly quickly. I'm not going to linger. So, Overlord, if you've never heard of it, which a lot of people probably haven't.
I have not seen it.
It's a film produced by J.J. Abrams. It's about a group of American soldiers on the eve of D-Day who have to go behind enemy lines in France to disable a tower that would help the Allied forces storm the beach at Normandy.
Okay.
It's a fictitious mission to bring us into an area where they then discover that in this facility where this tower is, that's vital for the Nazis, there is a secret lab underneath where they are experimenting on humans and, in essence, creating somewhat zombified
Maybe I don't want to
soldiers.
get this review because maybe I'd actually like to see
Well, I
it.
want to turn people onto it.
Oh, okay. So
they're basically creating... I'm not giving anything else away. That's the premise you learn in the trailer.
Talk to the camera.
Okay. So they're creating super soldiers out of the dead is what they're doing. And so the story is then about this squad of U.S. military personnel who then are at a crossroads. Do we go in there and take this out, even though that's not part of our mission, or do we just accomplish the mission and take out the tower? And the main star is an African-American guy who's very good. His name is Jovan Adepo. This is Wyatt Russell, who plays the commander, the corporal of this unit, who's kind of a douchebag a little bit. And then this is the main guy I was telling you about. Oh, you can take your ears out. I'm not giving anything away.
Oh.
But it's I got to say this about this film. It's a very cool movie. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Okay, cool.
It's got a lot of action. It's got some cool special effects.
All right.
Got some grisly scenes.
Oh, good.
You got the military at arms with the Nazis. This is a French girl that they end up becoming friends with who helps them. But the main thing that really got me about this film, and I will say that the third...
I don't know if I want to hear this.
I'm not. This is nothing to give away. Come on, Mr. Spoiler. The film, I recommend it highly. You can wait till video. You can go see it in the theater. It's going to be great.
Is there anybody
either way.
famous in this film or no?
Well, yeah, you recognize some faces. This guy we saw on Game of Thrones, but we also saw him in the second, I believe, of the Department Q films.
Well, okay.
He's in one of those. His name is.
Cool.
His name is Pilu Asbek. We've seen him before.
I don't believe those films are on Netflix anymore.
It's a shame.
Those Department Q.
They're great. Yeah, they're probably on
wonderful.
Amazon.
Wonderful movie.
But basically, what I want to say about this film is that it gets a little cliche and silly the last 30 minutes. Some things happen.
Oh, geez.
However, the scene that's worth the price of admission for this
you're going to give it away to me.
I'm not giving anything away. We know from the trailer that when these men are going in the airplane, the first scene in the movie, they're already in the airplane.
Yeah.
You know that they have to jump out of this airplane.
Okay.
Well, their airplane gets hit.
Oh, geez.
The scene where the airplane gets hit and they have to escape a burning airplane is one of the most intense movie scenes I've ever seen. It is incredible.
Wow.
You're on the edge of your seat while these guys are trying to escape this burning plane.
Well, I won't be on the edge of my seat now because I'll know it's coming.
Yeah, but that's the first 10 minutes of the movie. I'm not giving anything away.
Okay.
I'm just telling you how great that scene is.
All righty.
So I recommend this film very highly.
I can see that he does.
You can ignore the silliness of the last 30 minutes of it.
Yeah,
but
just ignore the whole end of the film.
No, but it still brings it all home to you.
Bring
It's
it on
still
home to me.
A very
Hey.
worthy film that I'm going to say is a 3-star film. I give it a big yes.
All right, cool.
I
Let's
really
move
enjoyed
on.
Overlord. I
Very
really
good.
enjoyed
I'm
it.
glad you did.
And the cast is very good. However, I will say that Wyatt Russell, who plays the corporal, arguably the second or third lead in the film,
Okay.
who we've seen before. He was on Black Mirror. He's been a guy in comedic films. I believe we saw him in the movie with was it Table 99 with Anna Kendrick?
Okay.
He was like her love interest, her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
He kind of looks like a surfer kind of a dude.
Okay.
I didn't feel, and I'm sorry to say that
You didn't like him.
I didn't think he was a strong enough actor to play that role.
Don't blame him.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I just
Blame
feel
the
like
director for
he-
choosing him and making him give the performance he gave.
They needed somebody to be, I think, a little tougher, and I didn't buy the toughness.
Okay.
That's
Could
all I
you have
wanna
played
say.
that role?
I could have played that role.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I'm the greatest actor in the world, but I just think there needs to be a level of intensity that I didn't feel was present.
This guy here.
He tried his best, and he's good in other scenes. I just feel the moments where he has to be a tough badass, I just
Okay.
didn't buy it.
All right.
A hair was missing.
Okay.
However, here he is again. I, however, recommend this film
Okay,
regardless.
cool. Gotcha.
All right.
Let us move on.
Outlaw King.
There we go.
The big Netflix film starring Chris Pine
There you
as
go.
Robert the Bruce.
Robert
The role made famous by Angus
Hey, there
McFadden
you
in
go.
Braveheart.
And of course, there she is. She's in that new movie with what's his face, the Swiss guy.
The Swiss guy?
Yeah, the Swiss guy. He was just in. We just saw him in the whole movie, the Netflix movie. The black guy comes down, and their son is killed. And
Are you talking about Mudbound?
no,
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the movie. It's called The Dark. The black guy from the black actor from Westworld.
You're talking about Hold the Dark.
Hold the Dark.
There you go. With what's his name? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about
So, well, the guy, the Swiss actor.
Alexander Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
Correct.
There you go.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So, what was my point? Oh, this girl.
It's Florence Pugh,
Florence
who we
Pugh.
saw recently
She's
Lady
now in
Macbeth.
a new film with Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
brand
All
new
right.
film.
Great. She's very good in this film.
She looks. She's very good.
She
I
was
agree.
excellent in Lady Macbeth, which is a film you can watch on
God.
Amazon.
Oh, that's right. That was her.
But this is a big film for her
Oh, that
too.
was a brutal film.
That was a brutal film. That was a psychologically brutal film.
Oh,
in
the
a
way they killed that horse, though.
This guy was a son of a bitch. He plays King Edward's
yeah,
son.
yeah.
So in this film, the evil king is the same one that we saw in Braveheart, Edward the Longshanks.
Okay.
Because this takes place right after that.
Kick-ass.
I didn't
I know.
recognize him.
I
Aaron
recognized
Taylor
him right away.
Johnson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was very good.
Okay. I think you've
here
done
he is
enough
again.
talking now. You did Overlord, so I think I'm
You
going to
can
talk now.
but I
a
want
little
to say
bit.
before I forget too.
Go right ahead.
The portrayal of Longshanks in this film by Stephen Delane, which was good. I didn't think he was as evil or menacing as Patrick McGowan in Braveheart, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. I agree with you.
But the guy that played him in this, he was Stannis Baratheon in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Just so people were wondering.
Interesting.
I knew him from somewhere. I had to look it up.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
tell the story briefly.
Well, it's Outlaw King. It's basically about Robert the Bruce. He's
Yeah.
kind of cut off from the. William Wallace has just been killed. We see his head on a spike as the film kind of begins.
Oh, by the way, there was a deleted scene between them, but they cut it out.
Really?
Yeah, I read in trivia. It would have been nice to see.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen that.
And I would have loved it if it was Mel that came back to do the one scene.
I do
How
know
cool would that
that Chris Pine was just recently on Stephen Colbert, and they talk about his full frontal nudity in this film.
I didn't see full frontal
Oh yes,
nudity of him
there
in
was
this movie.
indeed. He's in a lake. He's in a lake. He comes out of the lake naked, and there is his. There's little Chris Pine.
I didn't see it at all.
That's right there in black and
How did I miss
in
it?
white. And
I know how I missed it. Maybe it happened.
You drop your popcorn.
No. I was watching this. I watched this over 3 viewings.
Oh.
One of the viewings where I watched 45 minutes of it, I was
Okay.
doing dishes.
Oh,
and
there
I
you
had it on right next to me, but I might have looked away for that.
Okay.
Not that I need to see Chris Pine's Little Pine.
Well, there you go. I gotta say, it's not so little. Actually, the man's well endowed.
Good for him.
You know, Chris Pine.
If I'd honestly, don't show it unless it's worth seeing.
Well, there you go. That's probably why.
I thought he was very good. I think he's very good anyway.
You know, I like Chris Pine a lot. I kind of thought he was miscast. In
Miscast?
this. I do. I just found that he was almost non-acting almost through the whole film. He created a presence. I thought his during the fight scenes, he's always just kind of sitting there. I mean, during the fight scenes, he's very animated.
Great
and so
scenes,
forth.
some of those fight scenes.
No, some of those fight scenes were
And
wonderful.
you're right about that one scene you told me about. There's a guy who gets hung and quartered.
Gutted.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty gruesome.
They hang you and they. Oh!
Yeah, and
Everything spills
and
out.
He's hanging.
It's brutal. I
He's
know.
hanging
Well, they
by
hang
the
you and
neck.
quarter you. That
I
was
know,
the
and then
thing.
he just slices
Brutal.
it right at the middle.
Brutal.
Kind of a.
To me, being two things to me are the most horrifying ways to die. Okay, 3. Burning, but that's number 3. Number 1, disemboweled. Number 2,
Oh, yeah.
having your throat cut. 3, burning. 3 most horrifying ways to die in my view.
I think burning is the worst.
It's the most painful, but I feel like it wouldn't be as long-lived misery. Being
Oh,
disemboweled seems like a slow
kidding
death.
me?
Burning, if you're lucky, you'll die within a couple minutes.
You know, I saw a scene, and they showed this on. I can't even remember where they showed it. It was horrifying. ISIS put a man in a cage.
Oh, I know. They burned. Yeah,
They put a man in a cage.
Things
They
like
put
that.
like gasoline or whatever,
They're
some kind of
horrific.
accelerant up like 100 feet away, and they all were standing around watching.
Watching.
And this guy in the cage, I'm telling you, he survived for a solid 2 minutes.
That's horrible.
I mean, just burning, and he kept trying to stand up, and he didn't know what to do, but his body would not go down.
awful.
It was horrifying.
Yeah, they are barbaric.
You know,
and they film it with like perfect quality cameras.
We're not just talking about the barbarism. Of course it's barbaric. I'm talking about, you're saying burning is your number 3. For me, burning is the worst way to die.
I guess.
Oh, come on. That's horrifying. Somebody sets you aflame, and you're going to live for like a solid 30 seconds to a minute?
Yeah, but you might live longer than that with the disemboweling.
Well, the disemboweling.
pleasant that must be.
You mean to have your
Disemboweled, your
arms.
guts being pulled out. No, that's called the rack. I'm talking
Well, that's
about
called,
having your guts pulled
that's
out.
called drawn and quartered.
You know, drawn and.
Yeah, that's what happened to William Wallace.
Well, yeah,
He was drawn and quartered.
He was, yeah.
He was quartered.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. His legs were pulled off. His arms were
exactly,
pulled
yeah.
off.
And this was hung and quartered.
Yes.
This guy in this movie.
Well, he wasn't quartered. He
No.
was just hung and slit. That's different.
Oh, yeah, right. The quartering is when they cut off the
Yeah,
arm. Okay.
you're cutting
All right,
the
so
quarters.
he was hung and disemboweled. Well, to me,
He
being
was.
disemboweled is horrifying. It feels so
You know,
unpleasant.
it's got to be very quick, though. I mean, the Japanese have been doing their hara-kiri for years. They put
Well,
the
you
knife-
bleed out, yeah,
They
right?
bleed,
Yeah.
and you have to do, you have to hit all the organs, and you do a full square. It's a horrifying thing. Did I love this movie? I really didn't love it.
I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it.
I thought it was okay.
I was really engaged with
You
this film.
can't fight the price. It's part of your Netflix,
Yeah.
$9.95 a month. You can't beat that.
I mean, I'm a big Braveheart fan. Maybe that's why
Okay.
I liked it so much.
No, I liked it.
Do you
thought
like
it was,
Braveheart a lot?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love Braveheart,
All right.
and it's got that Game of Thrones.
It does.
Atmosphere to
And
it.
Braveheart, I gotta say, without interrupting, Braveheart set the bar for these battle scenes. That was the
true.
first big movie that had those big,
Graphic-
violent, graphic scenes.
battle scenes.
And then after that, we got
Yeah.
Gladiator and everything
I'll
since.
tell you, I
know?
really did not enjoy the horseplay.
I knew you weren't gonna like. I thought of you.
That was brutal.
I know. I knew you were
these
gonna say that.
horses,
Yeah, there was some brutal
There's
death.
there's an incredible scene where they set up where they're on foot.
I know what you're saying.
And there's a bunch of
It's
guys
like a-
coming for them,
a
so
pit.
they build a trench.
A trench, yeah.
With spikes,
Spikes,
coming
I
out
know.
of it. So the horses all
I
kind of
know.
go right on there. We don't really see. We only see 1 or 2 horses actually
Yeah.
graphically go down.
But you know it's not
I
really
hope
the
they were
horses.
CGI.
Of course they are.
Well, what about Buster Crab there? Buster,
Yeah,
whatever.
but the horse was
Buster
trained
Pig.
to lay down and pretend it was
Oh
dead.
no, but
they
the-
can't.
No,
you
there's
can't,
a lot of scenes in that Buster Braggs
I know,
movie
but PETA
that
is
the
on
dogs
set.
just go down. The horses just they tie ropes around their feet. That's what they used to do.
I know.
Back in the old John Ford westerns, back
Yeah.
in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Sam Peckinpah,
I
he had
know.
no qualms about sending
I
a
know,
whole
but these
bunch
days,
of horses over
to contemporary
over a cliff.
society in America,
No, I
and
understand
in
that.
advanced countries,
I understand.
PETA is on set. You'll get shut down. Now, India's another story. India, they probably can blow a horse's head off on camera, and it's not an issue.
No, they're very respectful of animals.
No, but there's movies I've seen where there's no way that an animal did not get
In
hurt.
Europe also.
Yeah. Well, some of those countries
there's
too.
There's
The
some
smaller countries.
horrifying.
Yeah.
There's some horrifying films. Well, look at that movie with Jenny Agutter. It's called Walkabout. That's set down. That's a Peter Rogue film. Peter, what's his name?
Peter Weir? Australian film?
Yes.
Peter Weir?
Peter Weir, correct.
Peter Weir,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Anyway, it's called Walkabout, and
Yeah.
she's there with a Aborigines guide, and they're just killing animals left and right all over the place. I'll tell you something. Watching Viola Davis carry that dog around the whole thing, I was waiting for something to happen to that dog.
I know. Well, there's a character that grabs the dog at one
I know.
scene, yeah.
It just kind of squeezes.
You know, that
him.
kind of annoyed me the whole time. Stop bringing your damn dog with you everywhere.
I know.
Leave the damn thing at home. It's annoying.
It really bothered me too. Maybe
Plus,
that's. I have a feeling that might be Steve McQueen's dog,
Maybe.
or something, and he just wants to feature.
But
him
that's
in
an
the film.
extra annoyance for filmmaking. You got to make sure that dog is going to cooperate. The
And
whole
every time the dog walked away, I was looking at his tail, and gee, his ass didn't look quite right to me. You know, I mean, it just kind of bothered me.
Yeah, it was
I know we're
annoying.
going back.
It's okay.
Let's talk about Outlaw King. Is it a great film? It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
I think it's beautifully acted.
And by the
I
way,
love
directed
her.
by David Mackenzie, who also did Hell or High Water.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Very well.
With Chris Pine.
Okay, excellent.
I really thought she was excellent.
She is.
I liked
excellent.
her a lot.
I liked her a lot too.
Yeah.
She takes kind of a ballsy control of an
does.
area right at the beginning
Yeah.
where he kind of falls in love with her. I did like their relationship. I
Yeah,
thought that felt real.
and we saw it build because it's an
know.
arranged marriage.
I love the
Yeah.
respect they had
Yeah.
for specifically he for her.
Yeah.
He didn't just rape her like
A lot of scumbags did back
well,
then. Yeah.
scumbags did back then. I mean, I mean, there were certain characters we see them get slowly killed off,
know.
of course, but.
Thank you for that,
It's a pretty good little
No,
little
it's
film.
definitely one of the. Again, I would say
It's almost a 3-star movie.
we've seen some much better Netflix original films lately.
I'm telling you, this is
might
very
be
true.
one of the best ones.
One of the best.
Talking on a
I agree.
production level, it's humongous.
No, I agree.
This must have been a very expensive
Well,
film.
Buster Scruggs is also a Netflix
That's
film.
true. That's also
and
a
that's
Netflix film.
Beautifully
Yeah.
produced.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
agree.
Get to that shortly.
That's probably.
I just thought Chris was a little bit miscast. Not miscast so much as the way that they allowed him to develop
The character?
this non-character that he is. When we saw Tom Hardy in Road Warrior,
Yeah.
he was almost a non-entity.
Yeah.
But Tom has that ability to suck his whole character within him and just be a physical body.
Yeah.
Chris doesn't do that. Chris is just kind of standing there. I just felt that he wasn't utilized enough he was just too complacent. He was too low-key for everything that's going on around him. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. But that's
All
not
right.
a complaint with Chris.
No, yeah,
It's just a complaint with the way that the film is scripted and directed and realized by our writer, director, etc. I just would have preferred a little bit more
I mean, I
gumption.
didn't have those complaints. I enjoyed him in this film. However,
Okay.
I will say,
But this is his standard look. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. He's just kind of staring around.
I'm wondering if the dialogue was minimal just to save him from having to really do that accent so much. Because that's a tough one to
it
do
was
for
a
an American
tough
actor.
accent. Well, he was on Stephen Colbert the other night,
Was he
and
doing
Steve
it?
asked him to do it,
Okay.
and he did. But you're right, it is a
But
tough.
I
The
will
Scottish
say
accent
that
is a
I
little
think
hard.
there was more of a presence of the character. I know, to me, with Angus McFadden, Braveheart, you could see the torment in his eyes in some of those scenes.
Look at Mel
The
Gibson,
character.
who was a perfect embodiment
I know.
of the kind of character I would
I
have
know.
liked to have seen with Chris
Yeah.
Pine. I really did. Here's the king, and here's the bad.
He was
king,
more
and the-
evil than he was.
Well,
Yeah.
10 times more.
Okay, and then you
The
look-
king isn't really evil at all.
Yeah, he's nothing like he was in
Yeah.
Braveheart, you know?
But I didn't even think he was a strong enough evil adversary. This film kind of lukewarmed the whole thing, except when, of course, he disembowels that guy.
Yeah.
He was dynamite.
He was
though.
good.
I loved him.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him, like I
I
said.
recognized him right
Yeah, he was
away.
great.
I knew it was
Very
him.
good. He's a good actor.
He was very good in this. He
Yeah.
plays kind of that misfit. He's just kind of weird
Yeah.
in a way in this movie, but he's very good. The last time I think I saw him probably was in Godzilla. He was in the new Godzilla.
Yeah, with Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, he played his son.
And our beautiful little, what's her name, from the
Elizabeth
films.
Olsen.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Olsen, of course. And they're making a new one now, Godzilla meets King Kong or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, and what's her name's in it from Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
Correct. I saw her on television last night. She just wrapped up season 3 of Stranger
Great,
Things.
I can't wait. So
And there
I
will
guess
be
we're
a
gonna get
season 4 and
Oh,
season
I'm
5.
sure there
yeah.
will be.
They just got sued by somebody.
Well, somebody was saying that they stole the idea for the show.
Right.
I think I read that the show is gonna only be a few seasons. I think they're gonna stop it at maybe season 4 or 5.
It could be.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move
Even
on.
if they go on, who knows?
Yeah.
They may not even go on from there.
So we're gonna move on
Let's do
to
Ballad of Buster.
another Netflix original, The Ballad of
Yeah.
Buster Scruggs.
Okay.
The new film by Joel and Ethan Coen, the Coen brothers.
Here it is.
Their first film made for television.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. Although it is getting a limited theatrical release as well.
Yeah, it
This
is.
film has a big cast. We have
This guy's spectacular.
Tim Blake Nelson,
Wonderful.
always great.
Loved it.
He was with them in Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Okay,
I gotta
that's
say I was disappointed. He's only in the opening of the film.
Well, it's an anthology.
It is, I know,
It's
but I
a
thought
group
his
of
character
stories.
was going to weave throughout.
I like the James Franco.
Yeah, that was a
story.
small moment.
A very small moment, also.
There's basically 6 stories, 6 vignettes.
Is there 6?
There's 6,
Okay.
correct? Yeah, and each one has a
Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, that was a
my
great
God.
one.
Out of the blue of the western sky.
He's just an old man trying
loved
to
him.
make his way as a
panning,
prospector.
panning for gold.
Yeah.
And we have a little kind of a backstabbing thing go on.
His was kind of almost comical, most comical out of all of them. I would
No,
say.
the first one. This one was
Yeah,
the best.
I didn't laugh that much.
Oh, I did.
Really?
Oh,
I thought
come
it was
on.
fun, but I
When
wasn't
he's
laughing.
Picking the guys off, and I love the
It was
scene.
cool, but I wasn't laughing.
He has the battle with the guy, and he says, "Do you need a count?" And the guy goes, "No." Boom.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then, of course, he meets his demise.
I know.
The
Yeah.
same way. I loved it. Now, you know who
Zoe
this woman
Kazan.
is?
Yeah, that's Ilya Kazan's, I believe, granddaughter or great granddaughter.
It's also Paul Dano's
Wife.
girlfriend or wife. No,
Yeah,
I think just his
exactly.
girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend.
They've been together for 10 years.
This guy's Ralph Innocent's good. He's in one scene.
Right.
He was the guy in The Witch.
Here she is.
Tyne Daly?
Tyne Daly, right
I
here.
love Saul Rubinek. I always loved him.
No, he's great.
I forget who this was. He was pretty good.
There you go.
Brendan Gleeson is in that scene. That's the last sequence of the film.
He's singing.
This
with
is my favorite.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
This was a good one.
He was the caretaker for a man that has no arms and legs,
Oh, it
who he
was
travels
awful.
with to perform theater,
I
basically,
know.
in essence.
And there's a great comic element to that.
That was very funny too.
That
Yeah,
was
that was
funny.
good. That was my
He
favorite.
trades off.
Yeah.
You know, he finds a better prospect to make money, so
does.
he has to discard.
It's called a meal ticket.
Exactly.
My least
I thought
favorite
it
was
was-
this one with Zoe Kazan.
Oh,
that wasn't my favorite.
You know,
Beautiful to look at, well done. It just didn't engage
I
me as
like
much.
this scene though. I like the Indian scene.
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
He had to fend off
Yeah,
an
yeah, oh,
entire
that was
tribe
great. That was
of
great.
the Comanches
Yeah,
there.
that was a
I
good
thought
scene.
Was very
Yeah, that was very well done.
Well, that's the same scene.
It is,
It's
but
the same.
but their scene's kind of like it was a little slow for me.
You know, I think I did. You know, she really does look like a pioneer woman.
She does.
I saw her on James Corden the other night, and she was quite lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
She was great in The Big Sick. Remember that with?
Oh, right. Was that her?
Wasn't that her? Camille Nanjiani? That wasn't
She
her.
played the wife.
Wasn't she the girlfriend?
Was she?
I thought it was
think
her.
you might be right.
I think it was her.
Here, the Coens.
Coen
right here.
brothers, yeah.
You know, I got to compliment my nephew too because I said to him, "Hey, there's a new Coen brother thing," and I spelled it Cohen.
No,
he
it's
writes
different.
right back Coen.
C-O-E-N. You're right.
He knew that it was.
Oh yeah, I
C-O-N.
knew that too.
This is the
Here's
Tom
Waits.
Waits segment. God, I love to
Who
see
almost looks like Nick Nolte there.
a little bit. You know, I love Tom
Waits
Waits
is
so
great.
much. I was a big music fan of his,
Yeah.
and I always sounded like somebody, gargling razor blades and ground glass. And this, hey, toss out of things like this. A cup of coffee wasn't
He does,
strong enough
yeah.
to defend itself. Kind of guy.
There's the guy that's paralyzed.
Here's the guy
He has
with
no arms and legs.
no
yeah.
legs.
And he is Liam Neeson's meal ticket, for lack of a better
There you
term.
go.
Stephen Root plays a banker in a brief
Okay.
scene.
All right,
This
so
had a
good
lot
scene.
of characters in
James Franco
small
scene.
moments. It's
Yeah.
a very, very Coen Brothers film.
It is.
I'll be honest, I need to give this another viewing, I think, to really let it,
Sink in.
suck me
Gotcha.
in. Yeah.
I got you.
Because there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on.
It's a very interesting film.
It is interesting.
This was based on, sorry to interrupt, this was based on a bunch of short stories that they wrote over the past 25 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then they got an offer, hey guys, make this into a movie.
There you go.
So,
And it was interesting that they made it into 6 little movies.
Yeah.
And they really don't intertwine at all.
no, which I thought was going to be with the ballad character.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But I guess not.
I thought he was just going to come the
Yeah.
strolling minstrel through, but I enjoyed the film quite
I
a
did
bit.
too.
It
I
was
did
very
too.
entertaining.
I thought it was a little long. You know, it's their longest film.
It was. Is it?
It's according to the trivia on IMDb, it's their longest film.
Oh wow. We better move on because we're
getting
at
there.
an hour right now.
I think we're.
I think we are.
I don't know. Are
I
we?
think we started about 10 of 8, but I
Did we?
could be
Did we
wrong.
start that early?
I could be wrong, but
Well, we're
doesn't
going
matter.
for it. Anyway,
Let's, move on
we
to
both
Leave No
recommend
Trace.
2 yeses for the
Absolutely,
Ballad of Buster
Battle of Buster
Scruggs.
Scruggs.
It's
New
available
Coen
to you on
Brothers
Netflix
on
right now.
Netflix and at selected theaters. Now, next we have
Leave No Trace.
I don't want to spend a lot of time.
We're not going to
on
spend a
this
lot of time.
one. Good.
Last week we covered Ben Foster. We're going to cover him again.
We did.
This is Leave
Look
No
at this
Trace.
list.
This film
deeply affected.
Still has a 100 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Does it?
100.
I cannot believe
Ben
that.
Foster, and this girl's very good.
She's spectacular.
Her name is Thomasin.
This is one of the best
Thomasin McKenzie. She's very good.
PTSD films you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Just Ben is, he always plays a kind of a distant,
Yeah.
messed
Tortured
up
guy.
Always plays a tortured guy. guy almost every film we've ever seen.
Pretty
We
much.
just saw him,
Last
he was
week
dying.
in Galveston.
I love Galveston.
Yeah, it was good.
But this, of course, this is his daughter. He's a loner. He just constantly has to run off.
They're survivalists. They live in the woods, like camping, basically. Building a fort. They're not even in a cabin, really, except for one scene.
No.
They live off
living
the
in
earth.
A tent.
The tent.
And then there's a big mistake that she makes. She is seen by a man in the woods.
Because they're in a hiking area, basically. They're in a public land.
So a guy sees her, and I don't quite understand how he got it that she was. He goes and calls the.
Well, he thought she
feds.
was in trouble because she runs away. So he called the Park Service.
Oh.
And then they came and they brought the police because they thought maybe
There
she
you
was in
go.
danger.
I almost thought because we see a drug transaction go on, right before that.
Oh, yeah.
When they go into town.
Yeah. And they go shopping.
And he's selling some of the meds that he gets.
Yes, for
that
PTSD.
he should be taking.
Exactly.
And he's selling them to some guy just to get some money, and
Yeah.
so they can buy food and then come back into the woods.
Yeah.
She's very kind of waif-like. She doesn't emote that much. We see tears.
There's a softness to her.
Very softness. A great chemistry. I love
agree.
seeing. There's the old woman who was in Breaking Bad. She
played the junkie.
Exactly.
I was going to say, that's
I
my
love
favorite. Those are my favorite moments in this film.
Yeah.
When they meet up with those people in this trailer
They're
park.
kind of in a communal
Communal that was
area.
some great stuff.
Is she in the scene? She's
No,
not.
but there's a picture of her coming up.
Okay.
This is when they're first back into the world after they get caught.
Right.
There she is. Yeah,
Love
she's
this
very
woman.
good.
What a face. She's so cool.
Dale Dickey is her name.
She is amazing.
She's excellent.
She can play anything.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was her at first.
Oh,
yeah.
As soon as you see her,
she was excellent.
Yeah, she's really dynamite.
Yeah.
It's
a downer of a movie.
Downer
a little bit.
is not the word.
But
this is a film.
It's still very good.
You really don't need to be near any firearms after seeing this film because you will want to blow your brains out. And I kid you not.
And this filmmaker.
This film was so grim and so down. It is 2 hours and 3 minutes of just pure, for me, torture, I have to say. I did not love it. I enjoyed the characters,
Me
the
too.
slow build, but there's not even a climax to this movie. There's no payoff. It's just kind of a
because there's not really like
it's like an endless loop almost that just kind of goes into
the characters have a story arc.
I understand,
but there's no main big plot developments really.
No, it's a performance
film.
You're correct.
I will say that this filmmaker, Deborah Granick, I enjoyed her previous film a little more, Winter's Bone, which is a great film. The breakout role for Jennifer Lawrence.
Absolutely. She was
But
nominated
I
for
still
an
like
Oscar
this
for
film.
that.
I would recommend checking it out at home.
Okay.
Well, it's not really in theaters. It's only on Amazon right now.
There you go.
But, it's worth seeing because of the performances, like I said.
I don't know if it is.
But it's not.
I don't know if it is.
It's not an uplifting movie at all.
It's not uplifting, and it's just 2 hours of kind of the same stuff over and over and over. I thought it was a relentless loop of just he's messed up. She's the good acre. She's the good egg of the two. She's trying to keep him in line. He's just this stray kite that she keeps having to reel in. But Ben's performance and her performance that do comprise the film, I didn't think they were really. There's nothing to sink your teeth into this film, but it is an absolutely brilliant depiction of the postpartum PTSD
of a soldier who comes home.
A soldier who comes home and is so affected and so withdrawn and so messed up. But we've seen other films also.
One thing real quick that I thought of while I was watching this film, there were a lot of supporting characters that I felt that they met along the way.
Yeah.
That to me felt like real people and not necessarily actors.
Well, this whole communal area.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Also,
almost the guy that played the medic that attended to him in that one scene felt like he wasn't an actor.
They find them in
I
the
think he
woods.
actually is an actor, but he felt like he wasn't. But I think some of the other ones are people that weren't necessarily
everything.
actors.
Yeah, no, absolutely true. And then they're taken to the commune, etc.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you there. It's all well and good.
There's very realness to this movie.
There is indeed, and as I said to you when I was watching it, I said, it was.
There was a fun moment.
The joy of a funeral.
Yeah.
Watching this film for 2 hours, I really can't recommend it. All
right.
It gets to the point where the experience is really, something you take with you, and there's really nothing. I can't say that. There is an experience here. There's love. There's no joy in this film.
That's what you said. There's no joy.
There's no joy.
Think, yeah.
There's no There's very little. They're both compassionless people almost. she's a product of him and he's a product of the war. So we don't, there's although we should feel more, I feel by the end of this film we don't. We just have kind of an ending that just happens. There's kind of a something that one goes this and that.
Well, see, I kept waiting for him to really screw things up for them. Because his character is very much tunnel vision. He just wants to keep moving, keep staying in the jungles or whatever.
Well,
I kept waiting for him
around people. That's the key.
I kept waiting for him to screw things up for her. That's what I kept waiting for.
Well, he more or less did by not letting her be in one area.
I know.
He just kept. I mean, they were given a place to live
I
after
know.
he's recovering.
He just can't take it. Yeah.
I almost felt that was a suicidal thing where he was trying to hurt himself because.
Well, there was a scene where I actually thought that that's what happened.
I did too.
And I'm like, that would be a weird sudden turn.
But no, he was sorry because he apparently just tripped over a log
or something, and
injured
hurt
himself, and
because he gets an injury. That's not a big spoiler.
Yeah.
That's part of the story.
And then he's found. She finds these people and takes him away. But there's not a lot that happens in this film. I can't really recommend the film. I gotta say, it's just such a dreary, miserable film. Yeah,
it's not a bad film.
Great performance.
In terms of recommendation, I would recommend it.
It is a good film, but I think you can do better in.
If you're a Ben Foster fan and you want to see everything he's done, then you got to see it.
Okay, let's go to Destination.
We're going to cover briefly a comedy / slight drama called Destination Wedding with two very likable actors.
Practically a Broadway show.
Pretty much. It's like a play.
It's a two-person play.
Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder.
I enjoyed both of them.
A lot of banter.
That's all it was.
That's all it was.
No.
The whole movie was them having just one long conversation in an uninterrupted two-shot or master shot.
Pretty much.
One after another, and it really is like a play.
Yeah, it is.
And they both they're going to a wedding. They both don't want to be there. They meet each other at the airport. And as you can imagine, they both hate each other at first, and then eventually they fall in love.
Correct.
We're not ruining anything. You know that right away. That's the kind of movie it is.
There is a very extended, I'm not going to say graphic sex scene.
But you're right. It's a long scene. A very real scene.
It felt real.
Yeah.
It really did. They just kind of decide at one point. The real find for me here, Keanu right out of John Wick makeup.
Exactly.
He's still got the
he's
beard. He did a film called Siberia. We just recently covered a few months back or so, which I really did enjoy. And I like him. I like Keanu.
Yeah, I do too. He's again in a renaissance like a lot of these other actors.
He's always
right now.
very wooden. And yet at the same time, that works. That works for him because he's cast in films and he makes whatever film he's in kind of his own because of the tone that he brings to every film. And I do love that about him. But for me, the real key here is Miss Wright.
She's very good, very likable in this film.
She really, she got her renaissance, if you will, with Stranger Things. Brought her back into the limelight.
Yeah, and I think it started right before that with her turn, pretty small but effective turn in Black Swan with Darren Aronofsky and Natalie Portman.
Yeah, but that's 7 years ago now.
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah,
What year was that movie?
Like 2010,
13,
11 or something?
13,
was it 13?
I think it was... No.
I think it was.
I think it was 2012.
Maybe so.
Wow.
So there you go. We're talking 6 years.
All right. Well, she's been slowly coming back.
Yeah, but Stranger Things is really kind of.
Well, I agree. Now that's the most current. Yeah.
It's hard not to look at her without realizing that she is a klepto. She's been caught several times
in real life,
at various drugstores and women's clothing stores where she's robbing bras and panties and pocketbooks and things and so forth. But there's a chemistry here, obviously.
And they've been together, I think, 4 times now. This is the 4th film.
Could be. Did I love the film? Absolutely not.
Me neither.
But it was just kind of a fun little get together.
It's a fun film.
Look, Keanu is smiling here.
I know, very rare.
Don't see the man smile.
This is a fun movie to put on in the background while you're doing things. And I don't mean that as an insult.
Well, that is an insult.
I was working on culling images for our show. I had this on right next to me on a laptop.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's a very watchable film. They're very likable.
They are.
But here's my problem with this movie.
It's very weak.
Well, it's very weak. For me, the main thing it's weak, for me, it's too wittily written for its own good.
It's too
Nobody talks the way they do in real life. To me, this is two characters in a movie talking in a way that the screenwriter's like, this is great dialogue, but it's not real. These characters are too aware of everything going on in the world.
No, I disagree with you. I didn't feel that it was that unreal.
They're too analytical and dissective of every little aspect of cultural norms.
Well, she is, and
they're both very cynical.
Well, there's a talky.
Very talkiness.
It's talk through the whole thing.
I just didn't feel the dialogue felt real.
Shut the hell up.
I know.
You know.
And these are long scenes.
They are long scenes.
And they're almost vignettes in a way.
And it's an hour and 43 minutes or so, and it really goes on a little too long. We could certainly cut out a lot, but there's a likability about the two of them.
It moved along though, considering fairly well. I didn't feel bored. No, I just found myself cringing at a lot of dialogue. Not because it wasn't well written.
Okay.
It was too written.
It was overwritten.
Overwritten.
It was overwritten.
Too much.
It was. It was just too much.
And I just didn't feel like it rang true.
I agree with you. Yeah. No, there's and specifically her. She's just constantly focusing on little things, but. The acting could have been better. I question the director's some of his choices and the way the scenes were shot. These almost seemed like working scenes as opposed to the actual scenes that should have been.
They shot the film, I believe, in like 10 days. Which doesn't surprise me.
It feels like 2 days,
Considering it's all these one shots.
I know. It really is. It was just a matter of them memorizing the dialogue.
I actually almost would have, sorry to interrupt you again, I would have loved to have seen...
As you've been doing all show.
I don't know. Well,
you're very high-strung tonight.
Yes, that's good. Actually, it's not. I would have liked to have seen this as a play. It would be interesting. Could be interesting.
Yeah, but okay, but I enjoyed it as a film. I mean,
I did too.
For what it's worth, it's a 2.5-star thing.
Yeah, 2.5 is fair.
The sex scene there's no nudity there. We just have them
thrusting,
kind of humping and away on a hill, which is kind of interesting. And I think that was the only real entertaining moment there when Keanu basically comes to his arrival within.
Well, the scene he's like, in case I'm going to make a baby here, what sex do you want?
Yeah, right. I mean, there's the sexual pathos of the there's a chemistry between them.
Oh, then there's a silly thing where a mountain lion shows up. I'm like, that's contrived.
I mean, here they are just kind of walking through this
beautiful
backdrop, but
San Luis Obispo, California.
This is a skipper. You don't need to see this film. You really don't, unless you love both these people. And I do. I do care for. I've grown to like Winona.
I'm going to put this film in a genre right now, and I don't want this to sound like an insult. This movie, perfect movie to watch on an airplane. It's an airplane movie. That's when you watch this film. In a hotel room when it's raining and you're supposed to be on the beach.
You can't leave the theater.
Well, when you're looking for something to watch,
you're on a plane.
You could watch a hell of a lot worse than this movie.
Yeah, but you can watch a hell of a lot better.
You could. But if you're stuck in an airplane with 6 choices, this couldn't be a bad one.
Well, it depends what your other choices are, personally. But,
I know. But it's
I gotta say, it's okay.
Don't make an effort.
It's just okay.
Let's
move on.
Yeah.
Because we have some good stuff to get to.
Well, we only have one more movie to get to.
And I like this film.
Look away.
Very, very much.
I'll let you take the reins of this.
I'm going to take the reins
because you love this film. Apparently.
I do.
You told me to watch this film. Tell our audience, not me.
I'll tell you something. I love the mood of this film. I love the atmosphere. It
very
is
moody.
Creepy. It is good. It is about a young girl. Here she is. A very brave, wonderful actress.
Her name is India Isley.
My God, is she dynamite.
She's brave. You're right.
This film is absurd. It has almost the feeling not of a Black Mirror episode.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
But it's about looking at your reflection in a mirror and seeing something else. And in this case, the mirror image is a stronger person than the person looking at it. In her case. So, and Mira Sorvino is right here. This guy's great.
Jason Isaacs.
I've seen him in a zillion things.
Great.
He's always good. He's so perfect as the dad.
He's good here.
He's kind of an uncaring, cold-hearted guy. Mira Sorvino is his kind of weak wife.
Yeah.
But here she is. She just gets out of the shower here. She sees this girl in the mirror. And I'll tell you something. The first time we see the actual image in the mirror move differently than she does, I jumped 3 feet.
Wow.
I did. I mean, we just see this image of this, and it's beautifully shot, this film. It just has
It is a good-looking
dark,
film.
it's a great
Yeah.
looking movie. It felt real. It gets a great review. It's like 7.2 or something on IMDb. It really is. And I stuck with it. I'm so glad I did. It's probably my favorite film of the whole week.
Oh, interesting.
Without a doubt. I mean, Widows and Fantastic Beasts Be Gone. I'd take this film. I could watch this film again right
What
now.
would be my favorite of this week? Let's see.
I really enjoyed it. Maybe Bagger, Buster Scruggs
That's
or
not my
whatever.
favorite. No, I'm gonna
But
say.
you probably like Leave No Trace. But anyway, this little girl, I'll tell you something. You know, she turns her mirror image kind of goes into a strange.
I think
kind
Outlaw
of-
King might be my favorite, or
Really?
either that or Overlord.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
This was
Okay.
this surprised me.
Yeah,
though.
this was good.
I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
She was
No,
very good.
she was
She
excellent.
carries this movie from beginning to
She
end.
truly does. She's the main.
There's a Fight Club element to this film. Not to give,
You
you know, in terms
well, I
of
wouldn't
the
say
better
Fight
self, your ideal self.
Okay,
It reminded
all right.
me of Fight Club a little
I
bit.
got you a little bit there, but you know, and she's, you know, and of course, once she trades images, she's on the outside of the mirror. Here's the scene. That's the scene.
Yeah.
When we just see this, she moves, and then suddenly her alter image in the mirror
Yeah.
makes a different move, and that was it. It kind of just caught me off guard. I didn't expect it. And I just loved it. So they interchange. They have to do a little ritual. They put their hands and then they have to kiss, which I like.
Oh yeah.
They have to kiss to change characters. Then the character from the darker, more not violent, if you will, but yes, violent.
More assertive.
More assertive, more just confident.
Yes.
Version of this wimpy little girl who's, you know, she gets bullied on the bus. That guy who bullies her all the
Asshole.
time. What a
That's the
horrible
one
guy.
thing that we never really got any reason for. Like, why is he such a douchebag to her?
He just is.
He just
He's
is.
just a kid.
Yeah.
And why would he be?
Well, that's my point. Why,
doesn't
why
make
her?
sense.
It does.
Yeah.
I can understand if she was ugly duckling, but
Exactly.
she's like prom queen, and she's getting
She's
picked on by
gorgeous.
this guy. That I didn't buy 100%.
No, she could be Zoe Kravitz's little sister
See, I
in
almost
another film.
maybe it's cliche, but I almost feel like that the real version, as opposed to the version in the mirror, should have been a little fugglier. Maybe not as
I agree.
beautiful.
No, I
Then
agree.
it would have been more plausible that this guy would be picking on her. That she would need this boost of confidence.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Here's the evil guy here. He's also the
Yeah.
guy who bullies her all the time.
He's a prick,
and he's
yeah.
constantly, you know, she just walks down the aisle, he trips her.
Oops, I'm
for
sorry.
No reason.
Yeah.
Then we have kind of another thing going on with her best girlfriend.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
involved with her boyfriend.
Yes.
And she's a skater, and she has to teach her to skate.
Yeah.
So we have some violence that
Yeah.
suddenly interjects itself into this film, and I thought beautifully.
Yeah.
I believed it all. And then, like most, you know, violent characters, things just get totally out of hand, and it just goes for the throat. And then there's a wonderful thing. Here she's trying to seduce Dad at dinner. In the new person that she now is the mirror image. That's her looking at Dad over dinner.
Yeah.
And he calls her on it right away. Great writing in this film.
Yeah.
I just love it. Here's her girlfriend.
Her
the
friend,
blonde,
yeah.
That's her boyfriend there, and there's kind of a three-way thing going on between them. But this is really a spooky little film, and it just caught me off guard, and I love that. I just love to be caught off guard with a film that just gets under my skin. Her portrayal, she's
very good.
Fantastic. She does some very strange, and I don't know how old this girl is. But
She's got to be at least 18, 19.
Obviously so.
Yeah.
But she does some nudity there at the
Yeah.
end when she's in a seduction stage of
Yeah.
this new bizarre kind of American Psycho girl that
Kind
she's
of, yeah.
become. I love this film.
And you can watch this on Amazon, just like all the other streaming movies.
Absolutely.
All the other ones were Netflix.
It's
but you
beautifully,
can watch
it's
this.
just beautifully realized from beginning to end.
Yeah.
It never breaks character, if you will. It stays in that
Mm-hmm.
mode. It doesn't ever cheapen out and give you a tacked on fake feel to it.
Yeah.
It goes right for the gut. It builds nicely. I loved it.
And this film is going to really catapult her because, well, it probably already has because she's getting some bigger roles. Next year,
Rightly
she's got
so.
a mini-series coming out with
Does she?
Chris Pine.
Oh,
Yeah.
what miniseries is that?
I forget the name, but it's coming out next year, 2019.
Okay. All
It's
right.
called, I believe, I Own the Night, something like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I Am the Night. I Am the Night, it's called.
Oh.
Based on a true story.
Oh, okay. I
So,
thought maybe it was the old that film with Joaquin Phoenix. And,
That's We Own the Night.
We Own the Night.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, and then she'll be in other things. She's been in some other things before this.
Okay.
This is just
No, she's
probably-
excellent, and
yeah.
she's beautiful. Those
She
eyes,
is.
and she plays two characters.
Yeah, she does.
Obviously,
She's
she
good.
plays our wimpy girl, and she plays our psycho girl.
She's very good.
Loved it.
All right,
Great
well
little
that's.
piece of work.
I would recommend it too.
Okay.
So this is going to be a recap of the films that we just covered briefly. So we both would recommend
Yeah, I'd
Crimes
recommend
of
it.
Grindelwald.
Yeah, I was just disappointed.
Definitely check that out.
It is we're gonna have to put up with another sequel. That we
Another
got-
3, 4, 5 movies.
You know, at least with the Harry Potters, except for the 2-part one, we always got an ending.
I know.
You know,
Well, now
I
everything
like
is
an ending.
leaving. You're always going to be getting a cliffhanger in a way.
I hate that.
I know. I hate it too.
hate it. I hate
That's
it.
a bad thing. And now the horror movies do with every movie. You know you're going to get another one. You know.
Well, you know that they can never kill the horror guy.
I know.
You know, the guy who's doing the killing.
Widows.
He has to come
We
back.
kind of had we both did it as a good film, but it's a
Yeah.
little long. But you can
Really
check
too.
it out.
But still, the payoff is good.
It is, and you can watch it on video too.
It climaxes nicely.
I recommend Overlord. It's a cool little film that I feel like is going to be a cult movie. You're going to have to find it.
Okay.
It's not getting a huge release.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
You're the only one
Yeah.
that I knew.
I
that
would say check
was
it out.
Yeah. I knew
Check it
nothing
out.
about
Look
it.
in on Netflix. It's a cool Netflix movie.
Yeah.
If you like history, if you liked Braveheart, you'll probably like this.
Chris is, he's great to look at, but his character's just a little low key for me.
Buster's, definitely check out The Ballad of Buster Scruggs
Bizarre little
on
film.
Netflix.
Bizarre,
Coen
but,
Brothers, you'll like it.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Quirky,
Huge cast.
offbeat, off center, as all Coen Brothers films.
Performance film. I say check it out if you want to. Daryl says skip it probably.
Don't understand the title. Leave no trace. What's that about?
Well, it's supposed to be when they leave, he was hiding all the things that would let people track them.
Very poor title. Very poor.
They could have
title.
had a better title.
Could have had a better title. But regardless,
you can hang on. You can skip. You can skip Destination Wedding. It's fun, but
unless
it's not
you like
great.
Keanu and you want to watch them.
But again, there are worse things you can watch. There are better things you can watch.
Interact together for.
It's fun to see them in a different kind of a movie. Like he's just
Yeah.
doing so many serious films lately.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see him do something low key.
Well, I think he's taking a break from John Wick.
He's taking
right
a
now.
break.
He's waiting for this.
Well, he's filming. No, he's filming part 3 now.
He is.
They're almost done.
Yeah, are they?
But since each one takes place right after the other,
Right.
he's got to keep that look.
And he's
So
got to
anything
wait.
else that he does in
doesn't
between.
have to. I mean, he can grow that. He can listen. They can. This is Hollywood. If they can make a fantastic beast, they can certainly make John.
Yeah, but-
John Wick retain. Give him his beard and hair.
I know, but when's the last time
Okay.
a fake beard really looked good? It never looks
Well,
good.
I
And the
don't-
long
I don't
hair,
know.
it's easy
How
to
would
just
you
grow
know?
out.
Because you're looking at a.
No,
you're-
I've seen
you know
movies
it's
with
fake or
actors
not.
with fake beards. It looks like garbage. Doesn't look good.
Give me one.
Well, let's finish this first. Daryl loved it. I thought it was good. He loved it more than I did.
I did. I loved it.
It's on Amazon. You can check it out.
3.5 star film for me.
Right.
3.5. I really did like it a lot.
It's a star-making performance.
Absolutely.
And then now, real quick, just what's coming out. Big week for releases for the Thanksgiving week, for the holiday.
Okay.
Creed 2 actually starts playing tonight. I almost was going to see it tonight, but
Really?
I'm not. I'm going to probably see it with my dad this weekend.
Does it start? Oh, it does start tonight.
We have Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I hope Sylvester gets nominated again.
I
He did
think-
get nominated for the last
Probably
one.
only for that. I doubt he'll get it for the sequel.
He might
Very-
not. Yeah.
I hope he does, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Ralph Breaks the Internet opens. I still haven't seen the first one.
Could
I
care
want to
less.
see it.
I could care
I heard
less
it's
about
great.
it.
John
Okay.
C. Reilly. Robin Hood. I have negative .000 interest in seeing
Jamie
this.
Foxx.
If we're gonna review this, he's gonna do it. I don't need another Robin
I may
Hood movie.
see it. It's supposed to be great fun. I've
Could be.
heard very good things.
Nobody's
about it.
asked for another Robin Hood
Yeah,
movie.
it's a fun Robin Hood movie as opposed to the Russell Crowe and the.
I still like Kevin
Costner.
Costner's one.
I liked it too, except that the big complaint in that
The
one,
accent, I
the
know.
accent he
He
never
loses-
used.
I know.
But
I really want to see this. I know Daryl doesn't, but
I don't care
Based
about
on a
this
true
film.
story,
I
Vigo,
know.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, it's
based on a true
basically
story.
Driving Mr. Daisy.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
It's the same film.
kind of.
It really is.
Except this is based on a true story.
Well, so was Driving Miss Daisy.
No, it wasn't.
I
That was
believe.
based on a play.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't true.
Yeah, but I'll bet the play was probably. I'll bet there's such a reality of having a black
maybe,
driver,
but I don't think it
driving
was
a
technically based.
white person. Or in this case.
Well, this is inspired by a true friendship. Might not be the whole story.
Vigo did gain 45 pounds for this.
It's a muscle,
role.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't muscle. He just ate a bunch of
Oh.
bad food.
Because he plays a real person named Tony Lip, who was actually an actor.
Oh, okay.
The Tony Brothers Pizza in my town has a picture of him on the wall signed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Now and then also
in every New Jersey pizza,
Pretty much.
and New York pizza, there's always a signed picture of somebody.
a pagoda in every diner.
I'll tell you something. There's a jewelry store where the jewelry owner in Park Ridge, New Jersey, is a dead ringer for James Gandolfini. So he has a picture of himself with James Gandolfini signed by James. Of course, and that.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's my ex-girlfriend's father.
Really?
Yep.
Which
If
girlfriend?
it's the person, I think nobody you've ever met. If I think it's who it is,
Crystal?
no, you never met her. You never met my ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
But her
okay.
father owned a jewelry store in Park Ridge, and
That's
he
him.
looked like James Gandolfini.
That's the guy.
Because when I was dating her, he turned 50,
Okay.
and they had a big party. He came out to the Sopranos theme.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
That's him.
Yeah, he's a big fan of
Yeah,
Tony.
that's him.
There's Tony. There's some
His name is
soprano.
Paul.
Right there, you go. I
Paul.
know him well, and used
That's
to go
so
in there all
funny.
the time. Paul.
Yeah, I used to date his daughter, Shauna,
2
years
minutes
ago.
from my mother's house.
Yeah.
My mother lives in Montvale, right,
Yeah,
right
dated
up the
his daughter
street.
a long time ago.
There you go.
Small freaking world,
It's a
man.
small freaking world, dude.
And then The Favorite is opening this weekend. It's directed by a Greek guy. I forget
Emma
Euro
Stone,
something.
Rachel Weisz.
He's the guy that did The Lobster and
Right.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Two-
I'll see it eventually, maybe
two
not
very
in the theater.
bizarre films.
I agree. And that's pretty much all that's
All
opening.
it's missing is Colin Farrell, of course.
Exactly. So that's our show. We'll see you next week with reviews of most likely, definitely
next
Creed.
week, yeah.
I think. Oh, I forgot to include the poster for The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman because that's also opening limited release this
Yeah,
week.
that's the Gary Hart story.
I can't wait to see that one. I'm
Just
going to
saw
review
Donna
that next
Rice,
week.
Donna Rice this morning. She's going to be on Good Morning America tomorrow. You can see her, what she looks like now, with, which is older, and of course she's had the plastic Botox injections. So, but interesting. Anyway, there you go. Happy
So we'll see you
Thanksgiving,
guys.
everybody.
Enjoy your turkey, and
next week.
we'll see you next week.
There you go.
Take care.
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, Mr. Slam.